out the pattern to the test. So he passed the first time. He took the preliminary one, but the second time she said he figured out. That's what she told me. And that was a long time ago. So. That was, is that 08? Is that the current 1508 good through October 13? Or in middle school was when on his middle school IEP he had autism, signs of autism.
I'm even thinking of Southeast is just really great for me and stuff. Yeah. We're friends.
No, it was the first thing he had was the screening, and it was the screening that he passed. And I wouldn't think that the screening and the test that was given for final evaluation would be the same. I would think that they were entirely different.
I don't know. I wasn't there,
I
but I know.
what
But she
pattern
said
he would have figured out.
that would be something we would have to ask Diana Broadway.
But you know more about testing. Is there a pattern between?
I don't know.
Every time they have to either look at a picture and say what's missing from the picture. They may have to look at sequences and choose from up to like 5 options what is going to be the next.
I would have to ask. I'd have to ask Diana if that was 7 years ago. But that's what she told me. So I don't know if it was the same test or not the same test, or I don't know back then.
And they're given 2 assessments. So they would have to pass the screener with an 84th percentile in the K-bit. Then we would take them with the Woodcock-Johnson test of achievement, which is reading, math,
You still have that?
and they would also have the IQ test, which I think on that one was the Rios.
They used to recall.
I need it.
When was the last time Blake had an individual evaluation, a reeval?
There's one before you, I think that might be in your hand, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still evaluating.
I have a copy of it.
To this current, yeah.
Next evaluation
Are you
was
talking about
2013. I was wondering if that was right.
October,
Okay.
the 1508 you're talking about, or is that the same thing? It's
Oh.
good through the October of 13.
What they call
Or what?
1508 therapy.
We do them before Halloween.
Okay. This evaluation right here,
7 years old.
no, this is the reeval.
That's a,
Oh, the 1508 reeval. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Putting that back to
And you were saying something about him being eligible for 5
continues to fall.
technology
On there,
devices?
I think it said that on the one I had. Let's see.
Excuse me, this is Ms. Perry, Administrative Academy Coordinator, and she can discuss with you guys how the structure of their team is.
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine. I was actually trying to give you all a compliment.
One of the things that came up was that the mother would like to have a meeting monthly with all of Blake's teachers.
Okay.
And, you know, I think that y'all said that, that wasn't a very,
Well, what my thing was, I know the 9th grade academy meets with individual students that are usually like behavior concerns or academic concerns. I don't remember the timetable, but I believe you do meet weekly with 1 or 2?
Yes, we meet, the teams meet twice a week. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays or Monday and Wednesdays, depending upon them. We have 2 teams in the academy. When they do meet, they pull in students who have positive things and also negative things. If they're becoming behavior issues in class, they pull them in. Grades, if they're not completing assignments, they pull them in. But if they're doing very well and they've had a turnaround, they also pull them in and speak to them about that. So it's up to the teams typically. They choose the students. They actually track all the students on their teams, and then from their tracking report, determine what students they want to speak to in the meetings.
so Blake is on somebody's team, isn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Which
so.
team is he on?
I believe he's on the, he has his teachers have changed. and that's one
Yeah.
issue.
Who was he with?
He was on Miss Ellis's team, which is going to be the A team, but we switched 2 of his classes. Is that correct, Ms. Gooden? We switched 2 of his classes, so now he has a mixture of teachers. So he has teachers from both the B team and the A team. Because one of the goals of the academy is to have them have the same teacher, so when the teachers go into the meetings, they can conference about those specific students.
Yeah.
And that was one of our concerns about switching him.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't be able to discuss Blake, entirely because he didn't have the exact teachers that would be on that team. There would be some overlapping.
I'm sorry. That's why I was questioning if it was a team. Now I understand.
Okay.
So there's overlapping now?
Yeah, there's overlap.
And that's why I was confused.
There's a concern.
Yes,
All right.
parents are also, Mr. Newman just asked if parents can be called into those meetings if there are concerns, and we do call parents in. Sometimes it's just the parents with the teachers, and sometimes we actually pull in the students with the parents and the teachers. But again, that's something that I help the team decide, but, they're actually the forefront in this, and
But
they
it's
decide.
a team decision.
It is a team
Okay.
decision,
My,
yes,
my
ma'am.
recommendation would be that, see if this makes sense, I don't know, that we make him part of those meetings once a month, that he's included, in other words, he's selected,
Right.
and that we invite the mother to come.
Okay, and just know that you won't be able to see 2 of his teachers that he has changed at that time in the meeting, but you'll be able to see at least 3 of them.
But I'm sure if they need to provide
Right.
feedback, that
They
they
can
can
send
provide
it
that to
to
the other
us, and
teachers,
yes.
and they can make that known.
And like I said,
Okay.
we now keep an Excel spreadsheet of all the students and their tracking, so through the tracking form that we keep, Blake will be on both of those, so we can actually utilize that tracking form from the other team in order to discuss for
Do
the
you
teachers that
have
are not there.
the past records of what y'all had when y'all were doing this with him?
The tracking?
Mm-hmm.
We actually just started the tracking this semester, once Mr. Edwards,
So you didn't have it before?
we did not, it's a new thing this semester, we're just starting it.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
they were trying to accommodate.
I brought it to them, and they agreed to implement it, and I think it's a
Okay.
good thing. And
Yeah, it is.
Moving forward, I think the
It
best
is.
thing to do would be to go ahead, like I suggested, and put him, as one who we're gonna talk to every
Once
month,
a
and
month,
invite
correct,
the
and
mother to
invite.
come.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Gill.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, no problem.
Sure, take your towel or.
I'll get you one. Well, if I find the bathroom, I'll get you one.
Okay, so that's another thing we can do on
I got this, but that's.
we can add it on the
Right.
transition page.
All right. So we're off page 1?
Yeah. Oh, that's good, thank you.
Would like the transition page?
Yeah. One of the school action steps under, instruction-related services will be that the team will invite, is that the right word?
Yeah, that's instruction-related services.
Yeah. The school will invite the mother into a team meeting once a month. The student action step, does he have to attend the meeting?
Mom, do
Didn't you
you
say
want him
that,
to
didn't you
attend,
say that, Mr. Edwards, that?
Well, I said that the team would meet regarding him, but certainly I wouldn't be opposed to him attending the meeting. My only concern would be depending on what was being discussed.
Right.
Okay.
I certainly
Well-
don't want to expose him to anything that,
Right.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you, should it be phrased that the school the team will consider him once a month?
well, the team will meet regarding him once a month,
Okay.
okay? And the mother will be invited to the meeting. And certainly.
Will she always be invited to the meeting,
She'll
or
be
is
invited
there?
every month.
Okay.
Especially if they're failing.
Does that make sense?
Yes, especially
Yeah.
if they're failing child.
well, here's my question with that. What if she cannot attend?
She's still gonna be invited.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you
But
can
the
have a
meeting-
meeting
the
that
meeting will
day,
still
or
take
can the
place.
meeting go on without
they're
her?
talking about
And that's what I want to know. Yeah.
No.
The meeting should, okay, so we don't even have to hold up or reschedule the meeting, we can just go ahead, meet, and move
Do you
on.
understand what they're talking about?
Put on the agenda
Is
for
that
every
okay
month,
with you?
we talked about?
I mean, they're gonna take one.
That's what they're saying, but what if mom can't come on Tuesday and they're meeting on Tuesday? We can't hold off talking about it, so we're gonna go ahead with the meeting with or without the mother.
Yeah, but if you know she has a regularly scheduled meeting every Tuesday, they wouldn't schedule it on Tuesday just to avoid her.
Exactly.
Okay.
And let me say this, and see if this makes sense, because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this is kind of new to me. I'm just trying to make the best decisions. My concern would be if it's a situation where the mother couldn't attend, then as principal, my mindset would be not to include Blake in the meeting if the mother's not there. Because I don't want any miscommunication, any, I don't want those issues.
Okay.
So, if the mother cannot attend, if Ms. Lorio can't attend, then my suggestion would be go ahead and go along and document the meeting and those kind of things. But if the mother cannot attend, I would not suggest that Blake attend without the mother.
Will Blake?
If that's sensible.
Will Blake always attend if the mother attends?
That would, to me,
That'll
that would be
be
up to
on-
their discretion.
Yeah, depend
Okay.
on what the topic is, I guess you could
Okay.
say.
Mr. Davis?
I'll move real fast. I've walked down a couple of the meetings and I got to see what they do. Basically, they just reiterate class expectations to the student, so it's definitely student-centered.
All right.
So it's more constructive, it's letting them know behaviorally this has changed, or you're making progress here, but we need to see more of this, so it is student-centered. So it's directed at what the student needs to do.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Are we through with the first page, Ms. Moore?
No, it's just, so on this page here, should I put anything else as far as the student action steps, which we would make it added? The school will invite parents to team meeting once per month. Or leave everything else as is.
Would that be a transition school action step? Yeah,
That's the instruction.
Yeah, that's fine.
That goes up there.
And so, what about, do you have a student action step to go with it?
That's what I was saying, like,
Yeah, so Blake, so we're gonna put Blake will attend all meetings when, we want to specify when his mother attends. Or attend meetings with his mother or something.
Because if she can't attend,
Right.
then just go to the next kid and pull another.
Yeah. Okay. Are we
And then-
ready to start?
We would need a paragraph.
Go on to page 2.
Okay.
We're still on page 1.
Yeah, and make sure it's okay with
I'm
mom.
waiting.
No,
is
it's
that
in
okay?
there. Yes.
Ms. Williams? Is there agency?
Just do it.
You got that done? Does everybody have a copy of the IEP,
The draft document.
the draft?
You just finished it, so.
Okay, have you looked at the front, at that first page? Rather than read
I
it
wanna make
word
sure that
for
they're
word, we can all
following.
read probably faster than she can talk.
And just zoom
And
in
I
on
do.
particular
Yeah.
specifics. Okay.
Here.
Is that all right?
No, that's fine. I don't wanna move it on.
You wanna move it on, but I don't wanna
Sorry.
Miss
take,
anything either.
take
This
over
is
your.
for
No, no.
misbehavior.
Okay, I figured you were busy.
Draft behavior. This is. That's what was 15.
Would that help you? Yes. Okay. Ms. Gloria, you're looking at this front page right here? Is there anything on this page that we really need to go over and,
On page 2.
Second page.
Page 2 of 11?
yeah, and talk about, because this is the place that Karen concerns. Do you have anything to add there?
Well, he has not been receiving any accommodations. He's regressed. He's failing. He's, when he has accommodations, he's an AV student. I would like we do in the monthly, I'd like him to have a full-time aide, academic support. Teacher concerns, I would rather them to be addressed with an academic support, not with the student. When they have a problem, they should take it up with the counselor or someone instead of him directly, and not single him out in front of others. And then you're asking me my concerns. These are my concerns.
Okay.
And then that's not been done.
Can you please be more specific? Because how can the counselor address if he doesn't turn in his math homework?
It should be the academic support. He needs a para. I think he needs a para, and any teacher concerns request should be addressed with the academic support, not the student. That way it's
called a para, it's called a child-specific aid.
Okay, okay.
Because a para is in the classroom all day.
Well, he needs a para. Don't you think he needs one?
That's the same thing.
Spouses.
Well, we made an initial request was made right after I became principal here that was denied on the basis that they felt like we had the paras here to provide that service. And then after the last, I guess, incident, I resubmitted with documentation another request for a child-specific aid. We just received word, I think yesterday, that it was denied again based on the same circumstances. What was recommended was that we provide a para from one of our study skills paras to provide that assistance to him. It's my understanding from talking to Ms. Gooden, Mr. Davis, that we've made those arrangements and he will have a para assigned to him. So we basically provided the child-specific aid here at the school using the resources that we have.
And who is that going to be?
Ms. Gooden?
Mr. Moses.
Mr. Moses.
Thank you.
Mr. Moses. And we were waiting for Blake to return to school. Actually, we assigned him on yesterday, but Blake was not at school. So today, Blake returned and Mr. Moses looked for him. Yeah, but Mr. Moses is taking
well, due to the ongoing abuse that's been done with my son, and the decline in his academics, and no modifications and accommodations have been met so far, I thought, and his safety as one. I'm very concerned. Every time he leaves, I'm wondering I'm very concerned for his safety. He has been enrolled in a school, and I want to make sure before he comes back here at this school, that he's safe and he's going to get the accommodations that he needs.
How will you know he's safe?
That I don't know.
I think with Mr. Okay. Well, I think meeting Mr. Moses.
Is there like a place for him to go, like a safe zone for him to retreat here?
Well, okay.
Is that
what
one?
we need to do is we ask about what were your concerns.
My concern is that he's being singled out.
What do you mean?
The teachers are singling him out in front of others. I've witnessed one of the paras when we were in a class. I was observing, and they have to do definitions, 4 to 5 definitions every day. And he had finished it, turned it in, and the gentleman was watching the news. I didn't even know who he was the entire time. No, thank you.
And you were in the classroom when this happened?
Yes.
Actually, she was.
Yes. And he put the book in here, shoved it into my son, and then he got up and put it back on the shelf and said, thank you. And he said, I'm going to put you back in Mr. Robinson's self-contained class. That concerned me.
Okay.
May I make...
Prince, we have a new... You're principal, aren't you?
I mean, you asked me what happened. You asked me what happened. That day, you asked me one of my concerns. I mean, I didn't even say anything about this. He went to go get a piece of pizza, and a student told me he got slapped in the face.
Let's let
Again, I have a couple of concerns, and,
There's not a space on this page.
you know,
We'll let you
it
talk.
seems like sometimes I'm the last one that gets asked. I have a couple of concerns. One is, things that happened in the past, certainly, they can voice those
He was
concerns.
hospitalized for 10 days.
At this point,
It is
I want to move forward with how we can best help Blake. The other concern I have, and I'll just raise it as the principal, and, I don't know any other way to say it, except to say that I have nothing but the utmost compassion, concern for Blake, but at the same time, I'm on a campus with 1,287 students, okay? In response to the latest incident that happened, where there was a situation in a classroom with another student, I made a request for a child-specific aid, because in my mind, okay, I have some concerns as to whether, with the exceptionalities that he has, okay, and we talked earlier about him needing to learn how to focus on being more independent, and that on a campus with 1,286 kids, okay, and knowing that in my mind he's going to be here, okay, and I love him just like I love all 1,286 kids that are here, but in my mind the only way that we could offer him the maximum opportunity for success is to have that child-specific aid assigned to him. When it was denied and the suggestion was made to provide a para here from our study skills class, we made arrangements to do that. But at the end of the day, okay, I have to be totally honest and say this in all sincerity, I still have some concerns that with the exceptionalities that he has, is this the best possible placement for him to be successful, and so we don't have any issues, so mom can feel that he's safe, which we want all of our students to feel that they're safe, okay? And I just want to get that out on the table, because in fairness to mom and everyone else here, I need to know as principal that this is the best possible environment for him to be in order to be successful. And I cannot realistically look myself in the mirror and say that on a campus with 1,286 students that this is the best possible setting for him. And I just want to say that and get it out there, and let the chips fall where they may, because my concern is not only for him, but I have to go to bed at night and sleep and wake up worrying about 1,286 students, probably no telling how many ancillary personnel, cafeteria workers, custodians, and I have one set of keys, okay? And I'm just going to, I just wanted to say that, so regardless of what happens at this meeting, I can walk out of here and feel like I did the best thing that I thought that we need to do as principal. So we can sit here and go through the IEP, and I have nothing but respect for that process, but as principal, I have some serious concerns about whether or not this is the best possible placement for this child. And all I want is what's best for him and the other 1,286. And so, I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
And I thank you for allowing me to say that.
We ought to have.
Yes, ma'am, I am the principal, and there should be a place on here somewhere for my opinion.
I appreciate that. So if we had to write what your concerns were, you've got concerns about his safety.
Mm-hmm. And he's declined. His education has declined.
Okay.
I'm very concerned
Regression.
about that. Very regression,
Regression?
major regression.
Okay.
And it's due.
The lack of progress would be maybe
It's
a
due
better
to no accommodations.
Okay.
Okay.
So your concern is that accommodations aren't being made?
They never were.
Okay. Any other? 'Cause we're not going to go back to the past. We're going to, we know you have concerns. We'll write them in.
He in the beginning Pam Taylor had some gentleman that would help the blind get to class.
An orientation mobility.
And
Well,
if you cannot provide that, then the tardies from class to class should be excused.
He's gonna have it.
He's done all that.
That's all.
No, but they're up there.
Okay.
They're on parent access when he was here from,
Okay.
these
May
tardies.
I think I can kind of summarize a couple of
Okay.
sides, if that's all
Okay.
right. All right. I think everybody has the same concern, whatever point of view is different, is appropriate placement, free and appropriate placement.
That's right.
Least restrictive environment. And right now, this is where we were. Whatever happened, I think you're moving on. There was a mistake made in August, whatever. The bottom line is, the second concern is he's failing. Okay? And one can say, the parent can say something, the teachers can say something, but the bottom line is Blake is failing. Well, my third concern, and I haven't, again, because I'm going to bring up a concern. It's mine too. Without getting into a lot of discussion, I just got to be blunt, I'm sorry. I'm really concerned because I've known Blake and I just see a drop and decline in behavior. Apparently there are some issues that need to be said. I'm not bringing up now, I'm just saying on both sides of the fence. Along with regression in academics, there's a regression in behavior. Or behavior. So I'm just trying to be general right now. Am I correct? So we're talking appropriate placement, but then again we'll have a behavior plan. We're talking academic regression.
Didn't they put him in a different placement? Is that what you're talking about in August? Community.
If I understood, maybe that shouldn't be discussed, but from my understanding, he was just put in there. And she's trying to overlook.
Why are we still talking about that when he?
She asked.
Because.
Period day, we've addressed that, we addressed those issues. He is.
Ms. Gooden, she just asked a question. We're not discussing that right now. I'm talking about his regression in general, period.
Okay, so the concerns are regression behaviorally, regression academically, and safety.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was just throwing that out. I mean,
And
on all sides of the fence.
Okay. Okay, those are mother's concerns.
And this is, I'm
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
In reading his IEP and some of the comments, is he regressing academically and behaviorally because he's not submitting his classwork and not attending school? Because it seems as
There's
though
his,
he says he does his assignments, but he doesn't turn them in.
that has, from the very beginning in kindergarten, organization and being able to turn them in. That's why if he had someone to help him, he would have it. Could be done.
Well, I think one
That is,
teacher said-
it's in the
One
classroom.
teacher said that she keeps a folder and
Right.
he can't take anything out of the folder and leave the class. He has to turn everything in, and so and apparently that's
Okay, so
working for
should I
her.
come to the classroom and help him do his work?
I think.
I mean, what do I need to do to get the classwork done? You know, that has been,
I think
that's been a concern.
Yeah, thank you.
From the very beginning.
I think Mr. Edwards said, we're moving on. I think
And
Mr.
considering-
Moses,
We'll assist them
a
with all
behavior
that.
plan, consistent communication with the parent. I think these obstacles can be overcome if we work together and not.
Yeah, we just can't
This is
go
my
back.
concern. A para cannot help with school attendance. Ms. Moses cannot make him come to school.
No, but once he gets here.
He's in school. He has been in school
Okay.
I think
That's
the
good.
past few
Now,
days.
the part that we're,
That's
I
one of his
teach like an
teachers,
ROTC, and as a teacher that he's required to come to my class every day. He's absent frequently. He is absent a lot, and that just may be something to
Recently,
look at.
recently he has
Pretty
been.
consistent. He's been absent since he was moved into my class. And I would think that that was probably a reason why.
He was in the
academically,
hospital for 10 days.
I
He-
don't have the
Okay.
record right in front of me, but just going off the top of my head, you know, he is a student in my class that is very frequently absent.
She
And that
didn't
may
say
be- I'm
it
just
was
saying
your
that
fault.
That may be a
She
reason
stated the fact
why
that he
his
was frequently
academically he
absent.
has declined.
And he's
Okay,
been to
so
the
attendance-
doctor,
Okay.
he's been
Okay.
counseling, and I've given doctor's excuses for all of that.
Okay,
Okay,
she wasn't pointing out.
I'm just saying that that could be.
And
a
then
reason why
suspended for
academically
someone
he
beating him up.
affects the
Okay.
students in class.
Sergeant Fair,
I
does
mean,
he dress out for ROTC?
I have worked with him on that because, there's so much involved with wearing the uniform. So I have worked with him, you know, and not made that a requirement for him because he had said he really did not want to wear the uniform.
I'm sorry.
And felt uncomfortable with it.
I'm
So,
picking up on the attitude, too.
that's something, that's one of the accommodations that I
her
have made with him,
attitude.
is to work with him,
There's no need for that.
by not making
she
him.
has that attitude.
Okay,
Just let it go.
Every
okay.
time.
Let it
Now then,
be better than her.
I am.
we've got your concerns down, I think.
He's gonna have child welfare and attendance issues.
Did you type it for real?
Okay, let me go
Can we please all stay on the same subject somehow?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just a friend.
Okay. We're on the first page. We're down on parent
I don't
concerns.
see all that.
Have you got any other concerns?
I don't know. I'm concerned.
Page one. What, page one?
Page
Second
two, page two.
Under parental concerns, and
I think I just tried to summarize them. I mean, I know,
They have it.
aren't these supposed to be general? I mean,
It's supposed to be
I
general,
know, honey. I know.
and we need to state them without
All right.
going back. Academic regression, behavioral regression, and her concern about his safety, right?
Mhm.
And it's getting more.
Mhm.
That's it?
And as far as absences, he's had doctor's excuses, and I could always pick up work and make those up. But when I was trying to get on the parent access, and I couldn't get on it, I called, I have the letters of all the attempts I tried. Then when I got on it, there was no teacher listed or email. There's nothing there listed. The only thing it had was a classwork, and it was not what he needed to be done. And I have copies of that. That was one of my concerns. And so now I'm on it. Now I can get to the teachers. I see they have the teachers now with their emails on there. And, you know, now I can email the teachers. But before, when I was denied to even be
Okay.
able to get on there.
So,
Um,
that's a past,
I know, but that was my concern, is that, you know, I tried to get that.
Okay,
And I've got
okay.
letters asking to get every
I think-
teacher's work together, and I didn't get the work put
Okay.
together. I submitted the doctor's excuses when he was in counseling. I never got the work from
Okay.
them. And when they did, I did it and I turned it in. So basically, if he's in the hospital, or if he's absent, and he's,
you're concerned that in the future, if he's out of
I need to
school,
have
that-
his work,
that
so I
he
can
won't be
make it
able to get
up.
his work.
I haven't been able to.
Okay.
I have gotten them
Okay.
one time when he was in the
Okay.
hospital 10
So-
days, but I've always asked for it.
Okay.
And I couldn't, there
So the
was
concern is-
nowhere on the access to show me what I could do to make it up
Okay.
or anything
All
like
right.
that.
Okay, we've got the concern.
So if you want to for me to be able to help him and the missing of the work, because there's doctor's excuses for those, and then I can do that. But I can show you, I've
What do you-
copied it out
what
where
do
I
you
couldn't
want
get to
right
it.
now?
Do you have parent access?
Now,
Yeah,
but there wasn't anything on it.
when she's talking.
You're talking about today there is.
Well,
That's why
but-
nothing was on it.
What they're, what
No,
the
there
school
was, no, that's
is-
not true.
That's not what
That's
she's
not what
talking
I'm
about.
saying, Miss Goodman.
It's Ms.
I'm,
Gooden.
whatever.
How come- I know, may I?
Do you still want to go back and make up some more work?
When she's
They're not
talk-
gonna, she's saying, no, we can't do it.
What?
Uh,
No, you can't
She
do
was
what?
saying no to me, she wasn't.
Okay.
I think,
Are you saying you want to make up some work that he's missed?
I've been asking to do that.
well, maybe there's a better plan.
Mr. Davis, go ahead.
May I just,
Okay, wait a minute.
I mean,
Previous to the last time where everything was compiled through Mr. Edwards and I handed off to him, when was the next time that it was through who, the teachers? Did you try to email the teachers?
There wasn't any email on parent access until just the second half of the year, so I couldn't get it. And then I asked, and I emailed them.
All right.
That's not true.
Okay. Where's, then you have the
What-
copies of that? I can show that to you.
What she's talking
I
about.
printed it off.
Okay, let's,
No, this, I'm trying to be, look, I'm just trying to be blunt, pull things together. It isn't so much, when you go on parent access, and I've gone on, there are 4 of us who've gone on, the issue is, okay, on the daily schedule, sometimes, all right, the attendance is off, it can be corrected. But when I try to go to the class work, and pull up the specific assignment, and what maybe the rubric is, or what the criteria is,
All of that won't have to be in home access. Home access, the premise for home access is to list your child's attendance, its grades, and any other comments that the teacher feel free.
You're talking about on course.
They're talking about you're talking about 2 totally different things.
But there
okay,
were-
well, then why wasn't I, okay.
Home access,
There
you
wasn't
can
there.
see.
See, at Woodlawn, I'm a parent also here. At Woodlawn Middle, I had all that information on parent access. I also had a homework website to go to. So let me ask you, where can I access the assignments in for
On
blank?
the Woodlawn School website, on course, there's a link to it.
So it's called On
And
Course.
from there, it has a list of all the teachers, their homepage, the calendar where you can click on all assignments.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like to make up assignments that he missed.
It's
No.
it's-
Semester grades.
how about from,
First semester.
look, yeah.
I mean, moving forward, I think
I know.
that
I'm
would,
sorry,
you
this
know,
is
that would
giving
certainly always be an
age
option.
to six.
But grades have already been
Okay.
submitted. first
What about
Grades.
January's grades? What about, it's second semester or the,
Right, second semester.
so
It
anything
started
from
on January
second semester, they can redo. First
Okay.
semester,
Well-
the grades are in.
First semester grades are in, yes.
and what are his grades? We don't know.
I would have to work on, I would have to work on that.
Is that under?
He never got a report card.
Well, we got them from when we asked guidance counselor.
Here's his report card right here.
I know, but he never got one, and he asked for one.
It went out in first period.
I
We
know,
sent
but he
them out
asked for
on-
one, and he told her,
And he's
no,
normally absent
you
first
can't, we're gonna
period.
mail. How can he be absent when he gets on the bus at 5:30 in the morning?
You would have to ask, sometimes, well, I don't know, you would have to ask his first hour teacher.
And it's a special ed bus. Shouldn't they make sure they get to class?
Well,
He
he's
used
gonna-
to.
The kids on his bus are community-based and autistic, they go separate ways when they get on the bus.
Okay.
But I mean, when she drops him off, I mean, he gets on there at 5:30 in the
Right,
morning.
that's what I'm saying, they get to
How-
school on time, they get dropped off in front of the school. Now, where Blake goes is totally different from where they go.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Moses.
Yeah, Mr. Moses.
He's been
alleviated a lot of
attending a
that,
school.
you know, if
He's
he
been
can
in
meet him,
attendance. He's got
you know,
attendance
when
at
he
another
gets off the
school.
bus, that will be alleviated.
Okay.
Moving forward.
So, Mr. Moses will start meeting him.
First
Okay.
period in the morning.
And you need a copy of his report card grades, right?
Yeah.
Because they weren't posted on where you could get them.
Well, they didn't send one home.
And
They're on home
they,
access,
They are. They're on there.
and they're in today's IEP. Okay.
okay,
Where's the first semester?
okay.
Where's the first? This is
That is
this
the first
is
semester.
this is. I mean,
Okay,
the
we've
one
got
before. Didn't he get? Is this the second
Okay,
report
I'll
card?
read
Just
that.
you get 2 report cards in a
Okay.
year?
That's the
You want to
first.
hear parent concerns?
First one.
Okay, let me just read what I.
Yes,
taken.
ma'am.
Parental concerns are as follows: student safety, behavioral regression, academic regression, and makeup work when student is absent. That's it?
As division of makeup work.
I don't see it. These you're talking about these days. Are you talking? These are the days that he's just missed this week. He's been in school.
Yes.
He's been in.
Mario, listen, we
He's been
have,
attending because of the concerns that I have.
No, ma'am, these are the days that he missed, because this is a first semester report card, correct, Ms. Good? Yeah, so that's the days they have unexcused absences for the semester.
Okay,
is my
I can go
understanding.
back and look
For
and
first
all right,
see.
Mrs. Mario, listen.
I have to go back
In
and
high
look.
school, we have first 9 weeks and second 9 weeks. Those grades, and those are progress reports.
Are these-
Hold on, and they don't mean anything. Now, at the end of the semester, you get your first set of official grades. In high school, you get grades twice. You get grades for the first semester of school, which went out, last Wednesday, and then at the end of the semester, you get a second set of grades.
At the end of the year.
Okay.
At the end of the year.
Let me ask you, these absences, is this the one when he was suspended?
I have no idea.
That's what I need to know, because he
Mrs.
did
Mario,
attend another
listen,
school while he was
Okay.
suspended.
Well, this
I need
is,
to find that out.
Okay.
Because they're saying that he has a lot of absences.
okay, that's a
What's
But,
concern.
I mean, but here's the
Christway
thing, Ms.
Academy.
Ms.
Did
Lario.
he withdraw from here?
No.
No, you
Then
can't
he
have.
can't get he can't get credit for attendance there.
Concurrent enrollment, you can't.
Yeah,
Well-
drop
that's
and
not-
enroll.
That's
Wow.
not an IEP issue.
Mr.
y'all
Blankenship was
can-
basically to say that he would be somewhere and enrolled when I talked to him about it. And I didn't think that my son needed to be in a behavior place with behavior children to be hurt more, because that's
Okay.
usually what happens.
Okay.
And
this-
he had a doctor's excuse because he was hit in the head with a cage.
This is not
Okay.
an IEP
So I want to know if
issue.
those two attendance has to do with the
okay.
suspension.
Okay, that's not an IEP issue.
Okay.
And so, I think with this principal, he'll get with you and you'll figure that one out, won't you? Or have somebody
She'll
help her
get with me
figure
and
out.
figure what now?
The attendance from the first semester.
I mean, certainly the days are recorded. I mean, if Ms. Lorio has excuses for those days, then that's something we can look at, but.
I do. I have 'em.
Okay. Okay, not right now. This is IEP time.
Okay.
Okay.
She should, but you have to submit the excuses.
I
and
did.
turn back
I
over.
did.
I have a
Right.
parent note, and she submits them.
We have to have the excuses to verify the
Yeah.
absences.
Okay.
They should be on file.
Okay, let's go on back to IEP time, okay? We've got parent concerns, progress or lack of expected progress in general ed curriculum.
Under
Oh.
evaluation, reevaluation results, y'all mentioned earlier that language was why he was receiving speech therapy, and it says articulation. So could somebody verify in the eval if that's correct or not? So we can get the correct term in there. Articulate, the current one now has language.
Yeah, so where did he get that service?
Right. So it's, but the IEP says he's getting it for artic, so we want to make sure we have the right,
Yeah.
correct.
She corrected that.
But not in this section on the eval.
Oh, no, it just says
Okay.
artic.
It says artic on the eval?
ADHD, Asperger's, artic. Let me see if they did.
It would be, under prioritized needs,
Yeah.
conditions.
It'd be under related services, it'd be under diagnosed impairments and conditions.
Speech according to the eval.
Thank you.
So we haven't changed.
No, I know.
Mr. Fowler, right now, he doesn't need language on his website. He scored in the 90s for his standard scores.
So we need to go back to the transition page.
Look, I'm just surprised. No, I'm not. I'm really not surprised.
Okay,
But
He was in the average range.
Okay, all right, Christine, I need you on this. She had it reassessed as autism. What, can you is that?
I have here his evaluation from 10/20. And they did test him for language, and he was in the average range, so he didn't qualify as having a deficit, so he's still artic only for speech.
So y'all are people appraised the IEP should have address artic or language?
Unless there was an eval after he
Yeah.
did.
I mean, he's was relatively
And that was what I was pointing out on the language.
But is there a new eval?
No, there's not a new full eval.
So,
it's gonna take
What's the date?
October 20th, 2010,
it's good till next fall.
2010.
So based on that,
It's not gonna work.
You put articulation
artic,
back in.
yes, ma'am, so go back.
met his
It wasn't really.
He can articulate. He needs the occupational. He's been needing that. I've been
Don't we
saying
have to
that
do a
from day
reval to
one.
release them?
Wait a minute.
I think the testing has to be done.
From
I don't know if
day
it has to go
one
through us or if the
in
related
speech.
service
I
provider.
thought it had to go through.
I thought we
Oh,
handled
yeah,
this out in
related
September.
service, like AP.
Yeah, that, it should not, it should have been, expressive and all that. Is that what's in the IEP?
I think what she's saying is that
What
the
page?
evaluation says
Mm-hmm.
that he scored within the average range for both expressive and receptive language?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Or
so,
receptive, expressive, and core language skills.
and so he is not eligible for language therapy under speech. Now, he does need language, but it's social language. How would you get?
He did still have articulation.
And they said he had
And it is-
articulation problems.
That was in 2010. I can look through his previous IEPs and see if he tested.
Maybe what they've been doing is not as much articulation, but the kind of, the language, because they've made him eligible for speech by saying he has an articulation problem. And then after he's up there, they might say, oh, you need this other more and do the other. I don't know.
I don't either.
We
I
offer
mean,
speech for articulate language. and
Yeah, we were
he's
so
getting it.
excited about it coming here too, and it's been terrible.
You mean initially?
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty bad.
oh, okay. He's due for another reeval
At
at
the end of the school year, yes, ma'am.
the end of the school year.
His liaison will be, he's probably on her list.
Okay. Okay, on here it says Christopher has support needs in speech language therapy for oral expression deficits. Under needs, do we scratch that?
I see on his IEP meeting, 9/17/2012, he had artic/expressive language.
My suggestion at that time was to put the child on what I call monitor, it's a Texas term,
Yeah.
meaning where even though he may not receive related services, he is seen by the speech therapist for, right, for maybe once every 9 weeks.
That's exactly what it says.
It could be a small sub-test given, but a year of monitor safeguards not just the parent and the child, but the school district for a year on both sides of the fence, in case he regresses and he needs speech, or he's done great for a year and does not, he can be exited.
This IEP works very well. Although Christopher's expressive language skills are in the average range for a typical student's age, he will continue to be monitored for oral expression.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Covers it well.
Yeah, that's what I wrote
Is
as
that-
him.
Well, I guess we'll see if it's still worded that way when we get to that part.
Okay. Okay, are we ready to go on?
So we're done with the general information page.
Down at the bottom, progress or lack of progress expected, progress in general education curriculum. And I think this backs up what the mother said.
Is this right here?
This on page 2.
Okay. Do you want to say anything before you go?
Why do y'all feel like his grades are so low? Do you need to say something before you leave?
No, I just want what's best for Blake, and if the teachers or anybody have any concerns, I'm gonna leave my card, and then they can discuss it with me, what I need to work on with them concerning any type of issues. So if you have any problems, and I've talked to Mr. Davis, and I will talk to the guidance counselor and see when any kind of concerns, and the teachers as well. If they need my help on anything, just let me know.
And I know y'all are gonna work on the language and the socialization and the use of his language.
Well, not really basically language. We're here just to counsel and to give some psychosocial skills such as hygiene and go out in the community and do some social interactions and things like
Well,
that.
that'll
based
be
on
language.
things. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So, if anything, anybody need anything, just call me. I'll leave my card.
Anybody have any comments, concerns?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay.
We're talking about spelling grades.
Yeah.
Progress or lack of progress.
Yeah.
Put it right here.
And I guess that kind of go back to the assignments not being, completed
In the class.
in class.
Can they be
sometimes.
shortened?
Um,
They were
sometimes,
before.
If we're working on, let's say, for example, in math, one day we're working on definitions, the terminologies that go with the unit that we're working on. And sometimes Blake, he wants the calculator. So he's kind of fixated on the calculator.
Mhm.
And we can't really take it from him because he won't really allow us to take it from him. So, one day I had to, define this word, and I pointed at the word, and he would go back to the calculator, but I would come back and say, you need to put the calculator down and do this. And he may do the one definition, and I'm monitoring the entire class. And when I come back, he's still with the calculator, and I may have to say, let's go to the next term. So a lot of things, it was a continuous. So through the whole class period, he may have completed 2 or 3 terms, and then we're moving on to something else.
Did he need
He didn't need a calculator, no, but he was just.
Did she keep the calculators there?
Well, all the calculators are out, and we
Right.
access them as we need them. But
Right,
he
maybe
would
we
automatically
could,
go back and
he
get the
will
calculator.
automatically go in, maybe we could keep him when he has to do those type of work.
She's not signed. Did
Can-
she sign up?
No, she didn't. No.
We're gonna have to go get her. Is there a way to catch her?
Oh, really?
Okay. Can we talk about that when we get back to modifications and accommodations?
Fax it to her.
Okay. But I think everybody agrees that he shouldn't be making those kinds of low grades.
We really honestly don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. And here's my concern. Mom has a problem with him being singled out in class, but if he shows up to class with huge para, everyone's going to know that he needs someone. So it's
That's
like you're
fine,
saying
that's
two-
not what I
two
mean.
You said you didn't want him.
That's
singled
not
out
what
in
I
class,
meant.
so-
I think she doesn't want him talked to or treated differently.
Yep,
And the
you got it.
aid will be different, but it's not gonna be like somebody saying you're a dumb little kid. You need to, it won't be like the.
Well, the person who said that is no longer with us.
Okay.
So we're
But-
still talking about in the past, and what I'm talking
Yeah.
about
But
is
that- but
Monday
they-
when
Then
Mr.
let's
Moses
go
shows
on.
up,
Let's
and
move on.
let's just say he has the calculator, and he asks Blake for the calculator, and he doesn't want to give it up.
There's a
Those
way
types
of
of
getting it
things.
from him. There's a way. He does the same thing with me with it,
Okay.
and he does the same thing with the iPad.
How would you get him
I
to
would
give it
bring
up?
him out of the class and talk to him really nice and say, when you get done, I'll give it back to you.
Okay.
And he'll usually give it to me. But you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of love and a lot of understanding with these children.
Is that taken into account on your behavior plan? Okay, so maybe we guys okay.
Yeah, and is there a
Um,
place for when he does get upset, for him a safe place to go to?
Yes.
Where?
Anytime
Is
he's
that,
had an
who
issue-
is that with?
Anytime he's had an issue, he's always come with me.
Okay, and he'll have an aide,
Or,
so he's not
yeah,
gonna be by
in this
himself.
case,
And a
the aide
behavior
will take
plan.
him away.
Okay,
So we're gonna have 2 things different. And a full-time aid and behavior. I'm sorry.
2 things different?
Moving on. You got the aid, Mr. Moses, and the behavior plan. She'll
Okay,
make
yeah.
it be more successful.
Yeah,
more
the
fun.
behavior plan both of them should make a big difference. Okay,
I'm sorry.
consideration of special factors, the behavior plan, and we do have a new behavior plan.
Yes, ma'am.
You looked at the behavior plan?
I have.
Um,
I have it. What's that?
Is this it?
Unless she took it.
Is this it right here? Yeah, okay.
okay.
Mhm.
Do you think that, I know it's covered later on, do you have anything you want to say about the
Yes,
behavior plan?
actually, I usually go over the behavior plan.
Would you like to do
Yes,
that?
thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need Blake for that?
Not yet. So the things I've heard you say, and I know we've met before, and I met with the teachers, you're concerned about failing, him expressing himself, social skills, and communication. Okay, so I have my operational definition of the behavior problem, and I have this based on baseline data that I had the teachers collect for me. So verbal outbursts, and I have a pretty specific definition of what a verbal outburst is. It's not yelling or screaming in the room, but it's anything that's basically talking back or considered that could be disruptive. I also think that could come into play when it's social. That also may draw a little negative attention from peers, and I know you were concerned about that. The other one is going to be work completion, which I think is something that's causing him to have some of the grades he's been receiving. So we want one to go up, we want one to go down. Behavior.
The classroom has always been a problem.
So we're going to have
And
some
turning
extra
that
support
in.
in the classroom.
And
So
that's
he's
been
going
my
to be treated
concern
like everyone else, but
from
he's going
day
to have
one.
some extra accommodations also.
From day one, I expressed that. From day one.
And I heard you, and I put it in this plan.
I'm sorry, I had to step out. What are we going to do?
We're going over the behavior plan right now.
Okay.
Okay, and I've already gone over it with the core people at the school, so y'all know what I'm going to say basically. Let's see. My hypothesis is that when in class, during teacher instruction, Blake makes verbalizations that can be are disruptive to class, which can also lead from attention from peers and the teacher. This also leads to failure to begin the classwork when he is instructed to do so to avoid classwork, was my hypothesis. All right, so basically he's going to have a mentor assigned and a check-in, check-out procedure. I think we had talked about that last time also. On this page is just basically illustrating how check-in, check-out works. Basically it is that he's going to have, and I didn't know about Mr. Moses when I wrote this also, but Mr. Davis was going to be the check-in, check-out. So in the morning he'll go report to Mr. Davis. He's going to make sure he's got his assignments, materials for the class, and he's going to send the class after they reviewed the PBIS for the school. He's going to say, have a great day. You're going to see me at the end of the day. In each class, the teacher's going to just review. They all have that PBIS poster in the classroom. They're just going to review what the PBIS expectations are for the day, which is, I think they're heart. I have that listed what heart is. Honesty, responsibility, respect, and timing. So when I was meeting with you, we all talked about him being accountable for his actions, and so I put that under honesty. Responsibility is for him to turn in his assignments, bring the needed materials to class, keep his hands, feet, and I know there was an incident, booger flicking, so I phrased that as
didn't happen.
bodily emissions.
He didn't do that.
Well, that can cover everything.
That's being investigated right now. So
Well, I'm gonna have it, but
I
that
don't
covers
agree with
anything.
that at all.
If it happened or not, but it could be covered right there.
What? He wasn't even allowed to make a statement for 10 days after the fact. I have it recorded.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Respect to raise hand to talk during class, and if not called on, to remain silent, and to refrain from interrupting the lesson. I want them to encourage him to follow the procedure, to raise your hand, be called on, and then you can speak. And if he's not called on and has a concern, he can approach the teacher at another time after she's given the entire group lesson to discuss. Because I know he always has other ideas of how things could be.
And he needs to explain that to him too, because they have to be told everything
And I will explain it to him, but I wanted to talk to you about it first.
Yeah.
Timing to arrive to class on time and to begin his classwork when asked. So these are not things that are being asked different of anyone else in the class. But if he conforms to what's being asked of everyone, he could earn little reinforcers. Okay, so each teacher at the end of the class, I'm going to try to give him some responsibility, and we're going to see how it goes. He's going to carry a sheet that's like this one to each class. So the English teacher is going to rate 0 to 2 how he did that day on each thing. And then ROTC, algebra, careers. I know we'll have to have a plan B if he can't keep up with it, but he's been keeping up with the iPad. So I thought we could give this a shot. At the end of the day, he's going to bring this back to the mentor, and the mentor is going to be able to score this up with him also. And if he can have a certain percentage of being able to do the PBIS rules and expectations on a Friday, that's when he could earn his reinforcers.
Positive
That's a
reinforcement always works with him.
That's a basic outline of what
I
the
mean, it's a
behavior plan
negative,
is.
it isolates him. Always, it's a negative,
So that's good.
and then so that's usually what
And I
happens.
know he likes computers. I didn't know if maybe 10 extra minutes or something at the end of the week could be a reinforcer for him. I had planned to kind of make a menu with him of things he said he would like, but I didn't want to pull him yet and ask him all these questions without you knowing about it.
So you're gonna make a menu to go along with it?
Yes.
Okay.
But we couldn't start it yet because I wanted to have it signed before.
Ms. L'Oreal,
But the
how
school
does
knows
this
about it.
School plan, how does this behavior plan look with you?
So she wants him to carry that piece of paper with him all day.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking put it in a folder that's brightly colored so it's easy to spot. Then Mr. Moses could maybe help him remember to go talk to the teacher at the end of the class for his rating, because the idea is the teacher's going to tell him.
Maybe we can
some
write out the
immediate
rules so
feedback.
he can see them.
He's going to be carrying the paper with him.
But
yeah.
I mean, like, give him the instructions to visual so he can see that
Well, they're going to have the PBIS poster. Do you think that would be visual enough for him in the classroom?
That's what I was
To start
thinking.
with it, and then we could get more specific if need be.
Well, maybe I can come and see how all this is set up and
See the
see
process.
how it goes. Yeah.
And I can go over this again, maybe in more detail afterwards with you if you'd like to do that also.
Yeah, maybe so. That'd be better.
Do you have any questions about the behavior plan?
Mm-hmm.
You all okay with it?
Should we sign it?
Are you ready to sign it?
The behavior plan? Oh, you wait till we're done, I guess? Or do I need to do it now, or?
If we signed it now, I know that some of the objectives in the IEP were tied to it. So if it's approved, that would make what's in there.
Okay.
Let me find the one.
Can I interject for a minute?
I'm just.
Okay, the agency lady left without signing the IEP.
Mhm.
So if it's in an agreement of the IEP committee, I just called up above us, and if it's an agreement with our supervisors, if the IEP committee agrees, can she come back and sign
I
the
can have her
IEP?
come back.
We're going to put that in the IEP, that the
Yeah.
parent agreed to it, under the
Yeah.
comment section, that she left without signing, and the parent agreed that she could come back. She was in attendance at the meeting, and the parent agreed she could come back and sign. So could you put that in comment right now, please? Are y'all okay with that?
This is going to also go home with him, and you're going to need to review how he did with him, and you're going to need to maybe sign it and send it back. So the next morning when he goes to check in, check out, Mr. Davis will know that you saw it. So that's all I'm saying. That can facilitate the communication. So every day you'll know how he scored. But you'll need to be on board with it, and you'll maybe have to help him remember to show it to you when he comes home also.
The most important person. Also, you're gonna need to put that on the
Implementation date,
make
I
sure
think
that
maybe
agency
Monday.
does come back and sign, okay? Also, in regards to the speech, I called our speech program specialist and, one of the supervisors, and we're gonna put in the comment section, or we're gonna put somewhere that we're gonna have Blake reevaluated if language is now is concerned. But for now, we're gonna address ORTIC in the IEP, okay? So, that's another thing school would need to proceed forward in, is evaluating his speech, whatever. Okay. So, there are a couple things that need to
At the
change.
very
when you
top,
send it back to
and
make
then
the speech
I'll have him
compliant.
sign it. And if you want to be with me when I go over it with him, it'll probably be helpful. You can see you're on board with it, prove it, and pass it around for everyone to sign. Yes.
Are you caught up? Are you ready? Okay,
So that means on the evaluation results, artic needs to be taken out and language put in, that's what the eval said.
Mhm.
Okay. The eval said artic, I'm sorry, language needs to be taken out and artic put in. I have it backwards, I was doing this before. Okay, sorry about that.
One more question.
And it has to be corrected on transition page too, when I was going through
Yeah,
this.
I don't think we're gonna start today, it's already Friday, and
It's
they've
13.
done.
And it's corrected on transition
I'll
services
put the
page also.
implementation date,
That's
that's
this
Monday.
articulation.
Yeah,
So you're gonna come back in and talk with him and figure out your.
you might wanna make it the
Hoping to get 'em
you
today
might,
while mom's here.
you might
Oh,
wanna make
the
it,
meeting.
you might wanna make it the 13th though.
The 13th?
Well, 2013.
What? It's not 2012 anymore?
She has to list his academic needs in this section, and they're based on what goals and objectives are written on.
Yeah.
His goals and objectives written for vocabulary.
I need
and
a new
math
principal to sign it
comprehension.
also.
And then the functional needs are also based on his,
Okay.
so communication and social
When I
will be a
started
functional
the
need, so she
State
needs to
Department of
add that to
Education,
this section.
Okay.
I told her that I was
Okay,
gonna
so I'm
move
gonna
over there. Because he's been beat up all the
Under-
time.
Are you
and he
finished
was
with
wrecked.
everything?
So they knew that he was.
Okay, under academic, developmental, and functional needs,
Okay.
we need to address his academic needs, so you're gonna say academic needs are.
Monday, Tuesday,
We're gonna go over this with Mom, but
Oh,
you have goals and objectives written for vocabulary and math
I
computation,
don't know how to help you with that
so
one.
they should
I
match.
know, but she knows.
Yeah, here's communication needs right here, but this is
But
okay.
here, it's also a functional need, so it needs to be
Yeah.
here.
Do we need to change it to the 22nd, because the 21st is a holiday?
Oh,
Good grief.
How, tell you what, do you want to do,
Okay,
I guess
so
it'd
you
be
have
easier just
academic
to
needs,
sign
vocabulary, because that's what you have goals and objectives for, and math calculation, and we'll make sure it's okay with Mom, period. And then he has functional needs, in communication and social. What's written there should match what your instructional plan pages address, okay?
Functional needs and communication.
Schools,
And social.
schools.
And amen. Okay,
What's the problem?
that's
So
it.
you were having him instructed, so you were having him instructed while he was sick.
And then we'll read it to Mom and
22nd.
change.
of 2013.
And then under the.
It's not a private school, home-based.
Oh, shoot, that should be.
Alright, I'll double check, make sure I got the right thing.
Yeah, so that needs to be changed under state law.
What is
I-
this?
We have to do it again because, there's no school Monday. And then everybody was signing the wrong year.
Yeah, we got a new sheet. So this will be-
Anything happening different
At the end of the
at the end of the table?
It's been hard on
The
her.
attitude and
Very hard.
Okay,
the
we ready to
closeness
go
and the
on?
body language.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that will be good.
We don't give the eye, well, these were.
Because you can see.
Okay.
He's just a friend.
Okay.
And she's, I told Mom to change it.
Everyone needs
Okay. That gets us off of that page, doesn't it?
Hey, help me write the plan.
This,
Don't you sign it?
oh, sorry, I'm looking, I'm busy on this. Thank you.
I'm glad we got to get to the
This is a big part of the ICAP. He's not making change.
Who else do we need?
Yeah, I have to sign it, let me get it.
Isn't
all the
the-
teachers to sign it?
Would I have signed this?
Sign it.
That's not even,
I probably shouldn't have.
I need to go down.
I'm not responsible for the behavior plan.
Well, I'm not either,
What does it
but-
say on the top?
It
We should
says-
sign?
It says series of committee members and personnel responsible, okay. But I wasn't a committee member in creating it either.
You're in here.
Okay, okay.
Okay, can we back up?
This is his IEP committee right now.
Okay.
Academic, developmental, and functional needs. Christopher's,
You can just read, I think Mom read the rest of
You read all the
it,
rest of
and
it?
what we added to academic, developmental, and functional needs, okay?
But the assistance needed to pass it through hallways or no penalty for occasional lateness to class. They put that,
We added, what
I
had to be,
didn't know.
what had to be added were his academic needs and his functional needs, so we added, we want to make sure it's okay with you what we put.
okay, so what was added was academic needs of vocabulary, he has functional needs.
No,
of
no,
communication,
vocabulary
social-
and math computation, and those are what his goals and objectives are written for.
And two is academics, like any teachers that spit screams at him, I don't want him in that class.
There's a
Right here is where we're.
Modification of organization of notebooks as appropriate, you know,
Yeah, well, we're not there yet.
Okay.
That's way over here.
I'm trying to get
math
done, just-
concentration. I wanna get through with it too.
Yes, ma'am, that's what you have goals and objectives for, so those are his academic.
Is it? I have a 2
And
o'clock
then
appointment.
his functional needs
Oh, then we need to.
are communication and social, and, because you have goals
I
and
don't
objectives
know way I'm
for
gonna
those.
be able to do it. Do you know how much work I've missed?
And then, under statewide assessment results, we're
This
gonna
is seventh
change
meeting.
the Iowa test of basic
The
skills
behavior
for
plan
lead.
today, like with me and him.
So we
Probably
just
be
made
quick
this
if you
change
wanted
right
to do it
here.
next
This
week.
is
I
the
can
change,
make
she's
myself
it's already nearing 12:30, she's got
Yeah.
2
Okay.
o'clock, 1:30 appointment.
And then under statewide assessment results, the name of the test he took last year was LEAP, not the Iowa test of basic skills. So we changed the name of the test.
Last year?
Last year, where
No,
did he go to
he
school
did
last
not
year?
take a leap.
That's a long
Okay,
story.
okay, so it made, was it the Iowa? Then put the Iowa back.
That's a long story.
Take the leap out, okay. He did participate in the Iowa test of basic skills last year.
And he had to test
That's a
when
long
he came
story.
here. Yeah, it's another long story of
Okay.
it.
Page are we on now?
Which is why she's looking for you
We're
this year.
going
I
to
can't.
page 3, but at some point it ought to pick up speed. Okay, the behavior, we've already done the behavior plan.
He's being.
We've talked about whether it was articulate or expression and communication needs. He's gonna continue to be monitored for oral expression. Anything there needs to be changed. There's a place on. Huh? Okay.
When?
So I guess we need to put
Just
that
his
in right
days.
there.
Why are you going to reevaluate
He'll
him?
probably be revalid in April automatically
Yeah.
anyway.
Right. Why bump it up?
He'd probably be reevaluated in
And
March or April.
Anyway, the annual.
For his triennial.
to put that, we're going to reopen.
He's
No.
coming
He
up.
already has the timeline on his reeval.
Okay,
It's not
the assistive technology.
I'm trying to understand this. It's not
In other words, they were trying to bump up as if new 1508 earlier.
Accept that.
Ms. Lorio,
No, this.
we're now on the space where it's page 3 where it says assistive technology. You're not objecting to him using technology.
No, he needs it to write but he doesn't need to be getting on the internet. Because
Okay.
all they did by giving him that iPad is take him away from the classwork.
Okay, so you want his
I did.
technology, you want his
I want it to be school,
technology
just have nothing
limited-
else. I want him to be in
limited to
school work.
without access to the
That
internet.
are no internet. And
Okay.
if you know that day that he's not gonna need a calculator, lock him up. If he needs to do something else, or
But he's
call,
gonna-
if you have a problem, call me.
But
That's
he's
what
gonna-
they used to do, and, they communicated with me
Okay.
if they ever had a problem.
Calculator, one from the school provides it?
Yes.
I think it's the teacher's procedure, she
The
just
calculator.
puts one on the desk, and once they get to the.
No, they have
what's
to
the
go get it,
procedure with
is
the,
what she said,
calculator?
they have them in the
In
room,
the math class.
and he just goes automatically to that, automatically to that computer, you know? And if you have a problem with getting them from him, call me.
But
Please.
they're out on the desk, and we get them when we need them.
Right.
They're out.
The first thing he's gonna do is go straight to that
Should
calculator,
he not be allowed to have one until he does his work or something?
till he needs it.
Oh,
Because if it's gonna distract him from doing his work, there's no reason to give him that.
I think what I've kind of heard them say is that
They're just in a
He'll-
corner.
they're just in a corner, he'll just go
Oh,
pick
he
one
will,
up.
absolutely.
You
Just
know.
like me trying to get the iPad and to put the
Yeah.
iPod down, he won't do it.
Yeah.
He's fixated, he has autism, he fixates on things, and those
Yeah.
are the things that he fixates on.
But I don't think they can very well move all the, but he's in a regular general ed class. isn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and there's not just
So then
one
we just
math
have to figure out a
class.
way to get it from him.
I mean,
If you can't,
probably
I'll come
seven,
up here
not-
and get it from him if you need me to.
Probably there's 7 classes a day in that room with 30 kids in a class. So it's,
That's a reason why when you have so many children, it's overcrowded, and he's supposed to have small classroom instruction.
you're talking general ed classes. You know,
They do that
there's
in
nothing
another
that says,
state.
yeah, you're supposed to have some small group going on, but teachers have that many students and.
Small group instruction.
Okay. Now then,
We changed statewide
first page. Okay.
Can she read that too?
Okay, let me read back the last statement.
Yeah, statewide assessment. He was in private school last year, is that correct?
This is so true.
I'm not sure.
He was in private school last year, is that correct?
Homeschool, private school.
He was in a private school, then he graduated, it's a homeschool, and that's what this is.
So
Not private.
when
But
was
it's-
he
but she's
homeschooled
state-
from,
But she's state certified.
did he take statewide assessment last year?
Here he did.
He came to a school and
Here.
took the statewide assessment?
Here.
At Woodlawn High last
Mhm.
year?
Mhm.
Okay,
When he
so
came here,
This, in
they
the
gave him,
fall?
they gave him a test
That-
to pass.
Okay, but.
To get in the
You're
I'm
ninth
talking about
Mary.
last,
She's
in
talking about
eighth
eighth
grade,
grade.
did he participate in a state elite test?
No,
or
he was
Iowa test?
denied.
Or
He
he
was
was not, he did not, okay.
He was actually denied
Okay,
from a private school. That's why she had to remediate during the summer with this lady.
so he attended private school last year and did not participate in statewide assessment, is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
And then
Okay.
this one right
Got a headache.
He's saying that's so important. He said, "Don't look at that."
Well, Huh?
Okay,
Where are they going?
Progress
Okay.
report.
here we
Oh,
go.
you're kidding me.
On page 2 again.
And we've got some problems in this section too, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine, we want to get them
So we
cleaned
can go
up.
here first or here first, it doesn't matter.
Where?
Okay, why don't you go up there first?
All right, under academic, developmental, and functional needs, you're gonna have, you're gonna, you need to list the areas of the general curriculum he's having difficulty with. So the IEP committee needs to discuss that and determine that.
The principal say.
That goes under academic, developmental, and functional needs.
Straight out about it.
Okay.
Where you saying that?
The IEP committee needs to discuss the areas of the general curriculum he's having difficulty with. So if y'all could do that and, you know, include those, please. And what areas it is important for him to master. Both of those statements need to go in that section.
Okay, Joanne.
We're on academic, developmental, and functional needs. The IEP committee needs to determine what areas of the general curriculum he's having difficulty with, and what areas of the general curriculum it is important for him to master. Those two statements need to be in that section.
Okay, so we need to have a statement that says, he is having,
Difficulty in the following areas of the general curriculum, and list them.
okay,
And it is important that he master and list those
Okay.
areas that it's important he masters.
okay, y'all
Okay,
got it.
English?
Here we go.
Is this a
Difficulty
difficult?
in-
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to get these down?
What test did he give him that he completed in less than 2 minutes?
Probably edges
Do I?
off, maybe. They do that.
Yeah, it took him the students in English took 2 weeks to take, and he finished it in less than 2 minutes. Maybe he's bored in that English class.
English and math.
No.
English,
She's-
math, what areas, what other areas?
Science.
Remember the note that he sent?
Be specific.
Should you be
I don't
specific?
get it.
You know, doesn't matter.
The statement.
Under the math.
Question.
You got
Is
English,
the
math.
iPad that the school gave him in his possession while these grades were while all this, during this marking period?
Yes.
No.
The first one, yes.
hmm So he's distracted.
That's all I wanted to know. There's no point.
That's the-
Of course.
When he came home with the iPad and he told you that the school gave it to him to use, did you bring that up to them at that time?
We did when we met.
We addressed the concern with her initially because we had to take it from him because he was playing video games in class and doing inappropriate stuff with it. And we made the call with it, and initially when we got it, we didn't even make a request for it. It was sent out to Woodlawn. And Mom wouldn't even submit the paperwork back, so it was just.
We have not received.
We didn't get any
Didn't
paperwork.
receive it.
Ms. Tam Taylor
I'm
sent the
sorry.
information home.
No, she did not.
All right, look, we can argue, I don't wanna argue.
Okay.
The bottom
She did
line
not.
is on December
And that's
4th,
another thing with it.
December
Paperwork.
4th, on
Back and
December
forth.
4th at the last IEP committee, Ms. Gooden made an excellent suggestion, to Ms. Florio about the Alpha Smart, I'm saying with the iPad.
The checking point.
I know from Ms. Florio's point of view that at that time and at that date, the iPad was taken that day.
It never should have been given back to him.
Why,
So
was
it was
it?
taken that day by the school.
Then that, over
Yes.
the technology, because that's the thing I could address.
And then there's an issue, yeah,
Yeah.
I was just waiting, but I'm just making it clear that at least,
So when did he get it back?
I don't know when he gave it back to her, but he wasn't supposed to be giving it back to him. Because we agreed not to do that.
No, here's the thing that went wrong. And,
thank you.
like I said, if there's an issue with it and if I'm wrong, fine. After the meeting when we decided not to sign that IEP, still, the previous IEP still did call for a mobile device. Now, the issue I had with it was Blake regressed again, and he went from a situation where from fixation to he started to have outbursts again in class. And it got to the point where Blake was being isolated by other kids, that's the thing I didn't want him to hear. Even at lunch, they refused to talk to him. So he actually came, so when Christine Broussard brought up the thing about mentoring, I talked to Blake and I decided I'm going to monitor it because before it was not checked. Nobody was monitoring it. That was the issue. So for that week, it was a condition. He would come to me, I would talk to him about the day, I'd walk him to class, and then he was able to use it. If there was ever any issue in class, Miss Perry would call me out to redirect him. That went well for an entire week. Last day of the week, when he was going to the bus, instead of giving it to me, he refused. He swore that he didn't have it.
What day was that? Is that 4 weekend?
Yeah, he swore that the ag science teacher was holding it for him. I was with other students. I believed he wasn't being honest.
No, he
but
wasn't.
But I couldn't physically do anything about it. I talked to him
He
several times.
could call me.
I talked to him several, this was going into after the school, and I didn't want him to miss the bus again. So I told him, look, if I go and check with the ag science teacher, and they say otherwise, we're gonna have, we're gonna have a problem, because right now we're working on trust. And again, he said, I gave it to her, Mr. Davis, I gave it to her.
As
Okay.
far as that's
Talked to the ag
concerned,
science teacher the next day. I couldn't talk to her the next day because she wasn't there. Next day I talked to her, she just said, no ma'am, no, he didn't give it to me. I went to go talk to Blake. Blake even took me outside and said, Mr. Davis, you can tell I was kind of lying. I apologize for that. I said, Blake, is not really an issue. We're trying to work on trust. Just bring it back and we'll start over again. And that's around the time Christmas break occurred. I did try to contact you one time in the principal's office, but at that time the voicemail was full. There was nothing I could do. He comes back to school.
do you have a secondary number?
I didn't have it at the time. It was more like, because usually around the end of the day is when I try to make calls. And at that time, I just went with the number I had. So, because there's also an issue, I go to duty, so it was just, it was trying to juggle more than one kid at a time, that's all. It wasn't about defying you or defying anything. It was a balance of still trying to do something for Blake while we were still trying to work out getting the other technology and working on the social skills with him, because he was when in class he started to have outbursts because he had nothing to do. And he was being isolated by students that needed something.
If there's a computer in a class, he could use that instead of that other,
But then that also brought the issue of he had an
internet.
incident with that before on a computer. Usually the kids know, leave him alone when he's on the iPad. That's kind of been addressed. But as far as using a computer in class, that's where he had an incident in agricultural science.
Well, he was minding his own business too. He wasn't
I'm
doing
there, I'm
anything,
not arguing.
okay?
Okay,
He wasn't doing anything
So-
wrong.
let's get back to
He
Yeah,
wasn't
let's get
doing
back to-
anything wrong
The
on
general
that computer.
curriculum and following areas.
He was
English,
into that
math,
computer.
But
Okay.
The little boy kept telling me he's gonna hit him. Beat you up. He'd hit him before. She put him in that class.
Are you still okay with him checking in, checking out the iPad or whatever?
I don't want him to have it. I just wanted him, I wanted to show that they had this, what I supposed to the journal in clear, 'cause the first thing you gotta do is a journal, and there's something you can do, I might have coached for a journal. But there were twins, and one of them never spoke, and then she can type, and at 11 years old now, that, you know, he can speak, first time he ever met her.
Wait,
But
did you say
not
you don't
necessarily.
want him to have the iPad?
I don't want him to be able to get on the internet and play games. I want him to do his work. He don't need to be rewarded. When he needs to be rewarded is with me when he gets home.
Could you bring them the iPad back?
Yeah. If I can find where he has it,
understanding-
I'll be glad to give it back to you.
Once the iPad-
I have to, look,
Other devices.
you don't know what I've had to do to hide computers. I've locked doors, and he's figured out how to, you know.
never got the paperwork on iPad.
It's a fixation. When they get fixated on it, they cannot get off of it. It's a disability. If I could change it, I would. Believe me, I wouldn't be having to go through all of this.
Can you bring
He
the
wouldn't be having to go through all this.
Can you bring the iPads back to them?
Yeah, if I can find where it is. I never wanted him to have it. I mean, if you couldn't get on the internet, it was just, I was trying to show her that if you take off the word describe and you say write sentences, she said that's the most, in Journeys and Careers, she said that's the most he's done the whole year. Because I took off the word describe or discuss, and, you know, and study skills, he's writing definitions. To me, that's a waste of my time and his time. I really believe that. I think he could do something else besides write definitions every time. And how can you go from an A to an F? You know, I just don't, I don't understand what, you know, what's going on and why. It's just been a big cluster. You know? And you just want to come and tell him, and you're supposed to clean it up.
Sometimes that happens, I'm the cleaner.
Is that what it is? But I mean, you can't change what happened, but it's a ripple effect of what the future's in holds. You know, you throw that cork in the water,
Okay,
it's done. And getting back,
you wanna go ahead and tell us what?
sometimes you get
how
way
this is
out at sea. And that's what's happened. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just noticing just these few days of somebody being able to, he's saying, yes, ma'am, he's calmed down. He, you know, he's not like that.
In the following
But he
areas,
was putting
in the
classes,
areas of
shouldn't have
English
been.
and math. It is important that he master in the area of the general, in all areas of the general curriculum.
Okay. It says that he's having trouble in the areas of English and math and the curriculum, and that it's important that he master those two things.
No, she said master all areas.
All areas.
Master all areas.
What specifically did he, you know, maybe later we can get, I would need to get, like, go ahead and set up conferences with each teacher. Find out what it is that he's
Well, these are still general statements, and evidently the State Department has gone through and done a new thing about what they want written under these, and those statements,
It's too late.
So
Yeah.
you're going to add that to the academic
Yeah.
development function?
yeah.
Unless you want to just.
I think the other thing she just told me, that is, since he is having problems in all areas and making those bad grades, you have to put in the accommodations that you have done in order to address those things.
Now, show me what have y'all done.
So,
That's
wait
what I
till
would
she
like
gets
to
back,
see,
because
what they have done.
needed,
Hero.
because y'all must have some company coming to audit your books. Okay, what kinds of things have you done There you are.
I'm sorry.
Tell them exactly what you want under this next section.
It's actually under progress, lack of progress.
Yeah.
Okay, when you said, and it's not what I want, we're just trying to make it, state compliant, but access to the general curriculum was provided by the special ed teacher, but it's not just the special ed teacher that provides Blake access to the general curriculum, because he attends regular ed classes, correct?
Right.
So we need to add special ed teacher and regular ed teacher. Okay? And then I think it's important that we discuss the end of that statement, which is strategies and supports and strategies that the school's providing because he is not making progress in the general curriculum. So that would be the addendum page, which is page 12. And it would be the third section, or fourth section, sorry, that says addendum for GSP or GSI progress, lack of expected progress. And the last statement, you want to discuss those interventions, explain them to mom. And are these interventions that were previously applied, or they're new interventions? Because if they were previous, he's still failing, so we need to try some new things. So if y'all could discuss that part and
Can
address it
can
on
they
the
show
IEP.
me what they've done this year? Show me something that they have done. To be able to, for me to see. Do you see what
Okay. What the question is he has these areas that he's not making progress in. And as part of making this IEP compliant for the state, we need to list some of the things that you have done in order to accommodate.
The progress
The ones
monitor
that
his
I know.
behavior.
I can
From
give
our
one
baseline,
example
from our
from the
behavior.
algebra
Okay.
teacher. I mean, I'm
Okay, so, I don't know
So
that
basically, what strategies, what
talks about work
interventions
completion.
is the school going to
We have-
implement to address his lack of progress? And you
what
do.
have you already done?
I wanna
and then
see what
you
you've
gonna
done.
do in the future, is what it's asking.
And I
right,
wanna know
and
what
you
they've
have
done.
some here.
I want them to
Um,
show me. I want to see
What
it.
needs to be said is
So-
whatever he refused, that's what they're saying, but the things that we have offered, that I know of, same thing as any other kid. Pull out, study skills, extended time.
Study skills, he's writing definitions. That's not, they're not, that's not accommodating.
It's a warm-up activity that they do until you need any help or any further instruction that study skill teachers provide. He provides that service during that.
Okay.
that
But
class.
he did
Let's-
not.
Wait,
But
we've asked him what's been done in the past, and we're not gonna say it's not appropriate. Then what we're gonna say is, what are you gonna do, and, what plans do you have for the future?
so they haven't
let's-
done anything.
They're gonna tell us what they've done in the past.
I
That
want
might
to see
be-
it.
You can't see it. Look, we need to get through here.
Okay.
Okay, what kinds of things have you done in the past?
He's been offered, he's been given pull-out and tests. Certain classes, he'll come to my class and actually does pull-outs, such as agricultural science. Maybe because I think some of the kids that were in that class, he kind of liked, and he would come to my class for that. But now, this is just for me being told, in other classes such as English or Algebra 1, when it's test time, he did not want to get pulled out. Well, other kids came out, he chose not to.
Okay, so some of the things that you've done are pulling out the tests?
Pull out for tests. Now, in regards for missed work, late assignments, Ms. Lori herself expressed concern that a lot of stuff he was behind in when he missed some days. All 9th grade teachers received emails or collaborated through me, Mr. Edwards, and provided missed assignments, which was given to Ms. Lori. And that's something that's not just ESS, that's regular education too.
Late assignments. They were given to Blake to give to his mother?
How would, I think you, Mr. Edwards, I know because I handed you the packet, how would that handle?
It's my understanding that they were given to Blake, and then I had a conversation, I think, with Ms. Lorio through email where she asked that in the future if everything goes straight to her.
Next time, okay.
Right. And that's.
Okay.
Because I don't get that.
That's one reason why,
But they were given.
again, I hesitate to, when we're talking about meeting with Blake on a monthly basis and those kind of things, and I've also instructed, all correspondence that goes to Ms. Lorio to be delivered through the mail to her, or either she can, because I don't want it going home with Blake. I think the behavior, I've been listening, I know I haven't been saying much. I think the behavior plan is workable. Again, I have some concerns about him being able to carry things back and forth because it hasn't been proven that he can do that, okay? Maybe with Mr.
He ain't gonna let go of that.
Maybe with his help, I think that'll probably work, but that's the way the
you don't
makeup work was
understand.
handled in the past.
Okay, so,
So the school also completed a functional behavior assessment, and they
Okay.
progress
Can I show you
monitored
this
his
real quick?
behavior for him.
Right.
And I could show that to anybody if you needed to see.
Can I
Okay.
show you this real quick?
nice,
If you can see,
okay. Are you getting all this down?
But I know what you're saying.
I know
Okay,
if you,
you heard her say that,
Try it though.
well,
It's
let's
not-
just take care of the
I've already
academic.
done this.
Okay, you got, what
A
you
million
got?
times.
Pull out,
SBLC meeting.
One more time.
skills to be
It's just
completed.
progress monitoring.
I want him to, I don't want to have to waste any more time. I've already wasted. Did you see?
And
Did you see
implementing
it?
a behavior plan would help his
Just read that little part.
academics,
If
so
you
we
don't
could put that
mind.
in there.
Yeah, yeah. But right now, we're still
Just ask
working on what they've done in the past.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What did the old IEP
Exactly.
say we were going to do? What accommodations and modifications did it have written on?
I don't memorize it. Could we go back
That's why I'm
to
so
it?
frustrated. It's a fact.
Not the one you wrote in
Organization. I know
December,
what
the
you're
one
saying.
before
It
that.
happens, it's been happening.
The September
I can't, that's the one
What did
thing.
it say we were
But we're
gonna
not
do?
gonna give up trying.
It's a disability.
Maybe you remember. What kind of accommodations were written on the September IEP?
You have that, Martha? We have that one. Oh, September, yeah.
Oh, do you want me to?
Right here. You mean 7? Yeah.
Let me ask you, can you write a statement about? It would be just
Right.
the person you could quickly type it. About.
About what the school's done with FDA and.
Yeah, about.
You might have double copies, pages, but here they are. This is all a big mess.
I'm just gonna give her the actual IEP. It's pages 2 through 12. If you want page 1, let me know.
This is the.
I might have a couple copies from same pages, but I have the parent letters too if you want that.
They would have what they said they were supposed to do, what they said they'd do.
The accommodations.
Yeah, right here. Okay. Here, we don't want to.
In a football game.
Okay.
I think it's somewhere, we'll get on a plane.
Okay. Instructional,
This month.
okay, instructional materials. Do you want to see what it says y'all were gonna do?
Well,
Because we
I
found
didn't
the
say
IEP.
it, I promise you.
looking at the old one.
Yeah, because it wants
He'll
to
be
know
in
what
another
you
school,
did.
but then
You
I'll be
said you
poor,
were
I
gonna
can
do
afford
these
it.
things.
For him is due.
What they're gonna do now.
Everybody sprung the
Oh, they did actually go through 2 practice days.
Okay.
He needs to
But they should be discussing it. You're exactly right.
Here, let me let you look at these. Because that's the right page.
My church.
They should be discussing it. Just to make sure it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's not my school.
Yeah.
Just in case they're having talent.
Yeah.
Went to the meeting about that.
Yeah.
Kim just think how great it'll be.
I know it's going on.
Free at last. I'm honest to a fault. I am very honest to a fault.
I've run through so many state reviews that I can't, it's like, why do you have to discuss what you have or how it's done?
Because just say I'm honest, I do nothing.
All you really need to say is that a behavior plan, that one of the interventions would be a behavior plan has been created and will be implemented. And behavior will be tracked, but what goes, we're supposed to discuss what we've done, what they've done. And now we need new interventions because he's still failing, you see what I'm saying?
That would, they haven't done anything, so now what are we gonna do?
Right,
That'd be
that's what we
easy.
want now. What are we gonna do?
Let me see if it would help, so we can get out of
This
here.
stuff and go new, you know, let's just go on.
Did you do small?
We know we didn't do anything, so let's go on. That's evident.
Okay, what happened?
I don't want to go through it. I know better, so let's just go.
Whether it's in algebra or English, they go to small groups or work in groups.
No.
Work in small groups,
Take that, right?
is that the, and then they send him out to have his test read?
Let me go
Yes,
ask him.
in the core classes I've been told in English.
Okay, but he doesn't want to.
Wouldn't
I'm gonna go-
signing
I'm gonna go
him a
ask
student-specific
him
aid
about-
be something
So you
big that
want-
But in ag science, the only class I've seen.
I'll be
come
right
out
back.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
really
go
is
ask
good.
Blake if he was asked
Here.
to be pulled out.
I think this goes.
Yeah, that goes right there.
He has.
Keep it together.
I know, bless you.
I mean, it just bring him,
I'm sorry, because I've been to the door where someone has asked and he just doesn't speak.
he refuses to say.
I think it's more so that he doesn't want to be around his persons or he has a specific favor, but.
Okay.
And what we actually want in this section of is what are we gonna do now? Not what we've
I'm
done
fine
in
with
the
that, but
on
I'll just
the
list
student
out
progress
the
tracking
stuff,
form, you need to
know,
list what
make
you've done in the past.
Is it
So,
okay?
you're gonna assign an age, that's a big thing y'all are doing. That student specific aid. That definitely needs to be in it.
I mean, and we're gonna start Monday, we wanted to start today, but,
Tuesday.
but not Monday, I'm sorry, Tuesday when you come back. But the question is, once he refuses service, we can only do.
Because
what-
there's so many kids in the
Okay.
class, yeah.
I got a question. When you say Blake refuses,
Services, he doesn't wanna get pulled out. He tells them no.
Like when other kids are
Okay.
leaving out the class, he'll say no, he'll say no.
okay, I understand that, but
Also, I'm in class with him.
Right.
And I've made several attempts to read out aloud, and he'll say very loud and firm, I don't need your help, I'll ask for it if I need it. So I just kind of back away because I don't want to aggravate him, so I kind of step back a little bit, but.
I know, I'm sorry. I just,
Okay,
So it's not that I'm not trying, you know, I'm
no,
making
I know,
several
I
attempts.
just, I don't know. I look at it like I've taught at John McDonough. The bottom line is inclusion's inclusion, if it's pull out, not, but there are ways to work about it, but I guess this isn't, I just don't understand how you cannot get a child to comply, or he refuses. It's a child.
I can
Oh,
understand.
that's fine. I'm sorry. I know, there are moments when they can be,
You know, so because I've seen non-compliant. Okay, what have you got written so far in that section?
Well, in that, we were working on that, statement, what we've done.
Okay.
Pull out the test, allow to bring assignments to study skills to be completed, small groups, and attempts for tests to be read aloud.
Extended time and works at home to make up any.
Throw in SBA and progress monitoring behavior.
I've got that fixing to get to it. You said progress monitoring?
Of behavior.
Shows inclusion, because he's putting inclusion classes from that thing.
you're doing a good job.
I'm sorry.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm trying to be involved.
I gotta get back to the system. It's just not. This is like the parish.
I'm just standing up.
Oh. I apologize, y'all. I really have not. Blake actually has really actually been sick. I'm very seldom sick, but it's like. I was waiting for Christine to come in.
This is a statement about the,
Maybe just
yeah.
take a 5-minute
Oh,
break,
this
3-minute break. I mean, if they're not here.
Okay, now wait a minute. This goes down in that very bottom thing. Okay, I'm going. Okay, it goes down there. Maybe what you could do is, and this is for,
Right progress and a lack of
Yeah.
progress, so add this to the bottom of what's
That goes-
in here already.
yeah, you've been putting things in there.
Well, I was typing another document, I just need to add.
Okay.
I just
Well,
need to
that
add
other document, I think goes in that very same space.
Right.
Okay.
So add this underneath?
Just, you could put it on that other document you've already started.
Okay. Okay, this on the other document.
Yeah. Okay.
I told you.
Okay. He has,
what are you working
right
on
up
these
here
days?
in the front, he has been provided.
I'm so behind my IEP training.
I mean, I don't have it, but I'm
Yeah, you
taking it on.
I'm training 2 days a week. We got 2
Yes,
transition
allowed to
grants
bring-
and 1 transition.
Y'all write some grants? Did you
No, we
see
got
that?
them.
Oh,
One's a federal one, I think one's a state.
Did Wedgwood ever get that grant we worked on for the iPads?
I didn't work on it.
You weren't on that one?
okay,
Y'all just crazy.
okay.
I saw they were advertising for a full-time grant writer. Did Patricia leave or
In
move on?
the area of behavior.
You know, one of my oldest daughter's friends has
Right
kids
there.
at, Woodlawn Elementary, and her husband's adopting them, and they bought, iPads for, I think, the whole package, and No, they did it when, the oldest one started, I think he started pre-K or kindergarten over there. And then they bought them for Jessica's teachers that year. Then the next year they bought them for the, you know, like, and then finally I think they broke down and bought them for the whole, every teacher has them.
Wow.
So that's nice.
Ms. L'Oreal, would you agree to coming back and reconvene so we can continue? It's been quite some time, and
Usually this, well, I know this is the 5th IEP and they about 3 hours every time.
So
Well, let me ask you something.
It's been like this.
Well, let me ask y'all something. Before we come back, is there a chance that you take some of the handouts that Ms. L'Oreal has given you, and when you start thinking about accommodations and modifications, when we complete that final page, in fact, this needs to be looked at, because it's still talking about him being a chef in the last part of it. But,
Can make some more copies. Mr. Robinson had made copies, but they're not in his file, so we can make another copy of them if you'd like.
What do you want in the file, Ms. L'Oreal? Those handouts about Asperger's and stuff, we can't force our teachers to read that. I mean,
no,
Just educate yourself a little bit, that's all I'm asking.
we've read
If that's
that
okay,
information. I mean,
that's
I
all I'm
have
asking.
both copies,
That's
but
all
I
I'm
would have to-
asking. I'm not making
What I'm
anybody or
asking-
forcing anybody to
what
do
I was
anything. I'm
suggesting.
asking.
what I was suggesting.
That's
If you
all I'm
look through
doing.
that,
I mean,
you've
I
got
mean, if
some
you asking me to do some
modifications
things,
here.
I'm gonna ask you to do a few
Yeah,
things.
maybe
You know, I'd
a
appreciate some cooperation.
Academy team,
Want to write down the websites you got?
just as information.
If they could go to this, especially this one, I don't know how many times I've brought this one up. Here's
You know-
transition, how to transition a high school student.
What I was asking
Transition, I mean,
them
just
to
there's
do-
so many things that could help
What I was
understand.
asking them to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Was when you get down to the modifications and accommodations
Right.
page, to go through and look at that and see if any of those dovetail with some of these things. So that would be, you know, they would have a basis for picking out some things.
Right. High school accommodation. I mean, there's just a whole lot of good info. I mean, when I found out, I did everything I could do to find out what I could do for my child.
Okay. It's you know, some of those might be more appropriate than others, but I'm not asking them to take
We
the
you
course
can't make
between
anybody
now
do
and
anything. You can only ask. I mean, they're asking me to do some things. I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to cooperate. I mean, I'm cooperating.
Certainly, I wouldn't be opposed as principal of asking the teachers in the ninth grade academy to perhaps read the material and review the material, especially in preparation for the meetings that they would have each month that would include Ms. Lorio that we talked about earlier. I don't have a problem asking them to do that.
Well, so we're
They
gonna
would
adjourn
help.
and come back, right?
Right. Because they really would
At my
help.
point, at this point, as principal, that would be my recommendation.
Can we all agree to a time and a date to return? Wow, we have everyone here? I mean, what's convenient for you, Ms. Loria?
Monday, I guess. Monday morning.
No, they won't, that's school Monday.
Okay, Tuesday?
That's the, I think the state.
The state, what?
Oh, her schedule, yeah, we don't worry about.
Tuesday is not a good day for me.
Wednesday?
What's good for you?
Wednesday, any other day, not Tuesday.
Wednesday?
And you?
I can make it good.
I have a training Wednesday, but it's early, like 7:30 to 9:30, but I can cancel it if I have to.
If we can go down.
So, I'll cancel mine. Mine will be easier to cancel. A
All
training.
of the table.
Yeah, it's early, and she's got one late.
I mean,
But I do have one that was.
he was in a,
Date, had her signed,
wasn't in
signed
a
today, but
private
he's
school.
not gonna be
Yeah.
signed today.
Oh,
Is that
does
okay?
he?
Have to be signed with the IEP.
Yeah, I think it's odd, it's, you know.
But
So
still.
we're gonna try to go with
Still,
Wednesday?
I mean,
Ms. Loria?
I was
Okay.
concerned.
Before anyone leaves, was the student progress tracking form filled out? Everyone needs to sign that.
Ms. Loria, is Wednesday good? What time?
What time did we get here? 9?
It's good for me.
Do we have to do another notification letter or anything like that?
Will you waive
She
your
can,
rights
she
on
can
that?
waive her right.
No.
Will you, no, to meet, okay, to meet again, they have to give you that 10-day notice.
Okay.
Or she can waive it.
Right, that's what I'm explaining to her.
Oh, sorry.
So she's
Yeah.
waiving the 10 days.
So, for today's meeting only, so she's only waiving it for this one time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For next Wednesday?
Yes.
So I would like to get this.
So we're looking at the 23rd, 9 o'clock?
I just want to thank everybody. As principal, you know, I think we all want what's best for Blake. And, you know, I think we made some ground today. And I think when we come back Wednesday, my goal would be for us to focus and so that we can kind of, you know, complete the process and hopefully move forward from here. And we can have a successful second semester. That's my goal. So Wednesday at 9.
Still need to make a menu with Blake for reinforcement.
Okay.
Thank y'all very much.
Okay. Okay. And then maybe possibly because they did not implement any accommodations, he should be able to maybe make up some of that work.
Everybody needs to sign. Before everybody leaves, you need to sign the progress tracking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do with him?
So glad you're
Nice meeting you.
What kind of things do you think he'd work for as a reinforcement? I know computer time's something that's been coming up.
Yeah. This is what you need to discuss on it.
Thank you.
Extra computer time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What about like a get out of homework assignment pass? If it's valuable, he might work for
Are
it.
you in charge of that?
Right. Maybe could ask him what he would like.
Okay. I was wondering if you could stick around after everyone leaves, we can maybe.
What time is it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you said 2 o'clock you had
Yeah,
something?
I have to, yeah.
It's 1 o'clock.
Okay, I don't live but about 5 minutes from
Okay.
here.
That's my dog.
I'm wondering if we
Can we
could,
pull Blake back in?
Blake out here.
Is he out? Is he in class right now?
no, he's just sitting out there.
Okay, I'll let him
He's
sit.
not in class, so he'll, I don't know what to do anymore.
It was good to meet you today. I know it's hard not to keep on, so I appreciate you
That's where you had the $24.
dropping it sometimes, because there's no sense in beating that horse.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans.
Well,
Thanks,
The
thank
ripple
you.
effect.
I'll see you.
sometimes you can bring the animosity, you don't want
Well,
that.
is Blake out there?
Maybe up front.
I was gonna
Well-
ask him some questions if you wanted to send him back here.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Allen, just,
It tells you all, you know.
The first
Since it's gonna be like, big life, just go ahead and not.
You're gonna write it on.
And every time I get attitude and,
I'm bringing
go nuts.
yeah.
Every good. And
Well,
over and over. Let me show you this.
What's that?
I have to find out when girls softball tryouts
This is
start.
very
No,
honest
but I
and
do
true.
want to start this.
Where is the file that shows you?
Well,
I think he just walked out.
That was,
Unless you say we'll start
It's
this.
Blake.
So we'll start.
He knows Blake. I'm gonna ask Blake about.
Oh, you want Blake to sit here?
Yeah, but y'all wanna help me figure out what he might like.
yeah.
Hey, Blake.
see, she put everything together. And that's the only thing.
Oh, you know that book.
What?
Just come sit down.
You wanna ask him something,
I'm gonna
anything.
pack up.
Yeah, I didn't hear you, Blake.
No, but I want to turn colors
I wanna
back.
talk to you. Take him out. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
My name's Miss Broussard. And we're gonna try giving you some reinforcements for doing the behavior you're supposed to be doing.
I'm on my
I know
way
you like
out.
computer time. What are some things you would maybe work for in school? If you could earn
I know. I'll be
either
out
some
there.
kind of
Just
right or
wait. Bye.
privilege, would you enjoy having extra
Okay.
time on the computer?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really
What about
organized.
a get out of homework pattern, one homework assignment?
Let's just keep going, and we'll get the best idea.
Where you
You
would
got
have to
it.
do something.
You've got
maybe
an
like
age,
an after school.
I'm just amazed. You know, I would say that,
Yeah, what else? What other things do you like that you could do in school? If you had a choice, if you had free time, what would you do?
I don't, you know,
Would you like your teachers to give your mom like a good phone call, like, hey, you had a great week? Tell your mom how good you did?
and if they would unblock
yeah.
What's Minecraft? What's the game?
Well-
Is that on the computer or on the iPad?
Well, we just,
I don't know if I can get it on the
We-
phone stuff, but that would be on.
we've got to
computer
get this
time, so that might
finished.
be part of computer
I'm
time.
sorry that we were so
Okay,
long
so I got
today.
three things,
Then we
extra
go to the
computer
next
time, a free
Blake.
homework pass.
It was nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye.
So extra computer time, homework pass, a good phone call to mom. What other stuff? I got three things so far. If you had a good week, they could call you and let you brag on it a little bit.
I think I'd brag off every little thing they did. Then the more you do, the more you're gonna get.
Yeah, gotta earn some good
And then
points.
there's
and
some
then-
other things that he's not, and he needed to address that with, him. Because it's like,
You're welcome, thank you.
Maybe a snack.
Would you be coming in for
Do you like any kind of treat?
okay.
Back up a little bit. Sucker?
Blue raspberry.
Good specifics.
I just wanted to take some. Can you unclick the card? Because I wanted to just
No,
take.
not from out here.
No, she can just do it to the window and click
No,
it.
it doesn't reach that far.
I wonder how many messages I have. Because it's gonna, okay, so then you're gonna help me carry these, right?
Like a nice pencil.
I don't think we're gonna wrestle.
Wouldn't work for a pencil? No. At least I
It would most likely be tutor based. Georgia.
Did you the eraser part?
No, just not just like the. Right here.
So far we have 4 items.
Save my leave. Bring it home with you.
He used to, and when he was in agri-science, he got to go and feed the chickens and help with the outside stuff, and then I don't know what happened to that teacher, but he's gone, and I never wanted him in that class.
What about
I
lunch with
will,
a
I'll
preferred
remember, I won't
teacher?
forget.
So if he earned all of his points on Friday, Monday, he could have
No,
lunch with
ma'am.
a preferred teacher. Sound good?
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite teacher?
Mr. Wallace.
What does he teach?
Geography.
World Geography.
Steve.
And this agri-science class that he was put in, okay, I know that, I don't know if I forgot to even mention that. Have I even got to that yet? We haven't even got to that
I think we
yet?
could maybe do the meeting with preferred teacher, but they'll have to see how their schedule falls.
Mr. Wallace had lunch at 6 periods.
Are you in his class at that time?
I'm in 5th.
Oh, you don't. So that's when the schedule changed, and I don't know if I could.
I think he has lunch duty.
No, he has lunch.
Look. You'll have that kind of homework template.
Is that from 08?
No, this is just one. It's just one. No, it's just one. I don't know anymore. I'm so confused.
So we have extra computer time, homework class.
So we're done?
Good phone call home, maybe a sucker or lunch with preferred person, to at least start a menu. How's that sound?
And the way you're making it sounds like a restaurant.
Yeah. You get to choose something.
Menu.
A restaurant, really?
Exactly what it is. If he
Oh,
earns points.
it is. It's like pizza from someplace or something like that.
So they won't tell him what he's earned, he's gonna be able to make choices.
Oh, so you could eat at your favorite restaurant. Would that be fun?
Yeah.
Like, what is it, your
That's
favorite
what
pizza?
Mom could bring you to.
Oh, okay, so it's just lunch here?
No, not over here. I'm calling this a reinforcement menu because when he gets his points. if
Oh, he could go
earns
to his
the
favorite
same-
restaurant, yeah.
No. He's gonna be able to choose from this list I'm making what he wants to buy with his points.
Okay.
So it would be, so that's why I'm trying to get as much as I can, so he has more
Okay.
options.
Can we put that up while she's talking to you? Thank you. I appreciate you listening to me.
I hear it making some noise in there. I think there's one here listening, but yeah, it's probably, I
See?
appreciate full attention.
See? It's how you ask. It really is. If you go up there yelling,
No.
and that's,
I should do that anyway. Maintain good time.
you tell her how it's been. Honestly.
You know Mr. Blankenship?
He's gonna redo it
Yeah.
at the next meeting, because no one signed.
We go
Vice
plan with them too
principal.
while I talk.
That vice principal,
Mhm.
the white guy.
Mhm.
He said he was gonna take my iPod away because I was playing it in the office.
He doesn't realize you're.
He's playing the iPad now. Oh, iPod, sorry.
He doesn't realize we're in a meeting probably here, and probably thinks you're just sitting in there. Yeah, you're not supposed to be doing that in school at
I
all.
told him I'm not even signed in.
Well,
You
you're.
know what the school's, PBIS rules and expectations are? HRRT?
But that doesn't conclude if you're in a meeting.
No, I'm just asking, this is unrelated to that.
But am I right?
The PBIS expectations,
Do you know what they are?
you know what they are?
Not really. It's been a while since they said anything about it.
Okay, well, we're gonna.
Well,
I'm sure
directly
they do it
about
every
it.
day.
Well, directly about it anyways.
Let me show you what they are. Do these look familiar? Honesty, responsibility, respect, and timing. I want wants you to work on these things extra in class with your teachers. Because your teachers are gonna say how you did it in class. For your honesty, responsibility, respect, and time, and that's how you're gonna earn points to get to your reinforcement.
Oh, you wanna go home?
Well, it's Friday, and we'll eventually. We're gonna go home.
I mean, we'll either get together Wednesday or not.
Oh, man, I got so many people that called.
Do you think you can carry a piece of paper with you throughout the day, if it's in a nice folder?
I'm not signing.
What's that?
I don't know.
And check out, check in after 10.
Takes you time to plan too.
I don't know that if he can or not, to be honest with you. He's been unable to do a lot of things.
What's your favorite color, Blake?
You should talk, see,
Blue
how you
Blue and green? Is that the school color?
That lady's
No.
supposed to be here after 30 minutes, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Who? I know, we have to go.
So if I got you maybe a blue or green.
She knows that too. It's 15 minutes away from the house. I'll bring this to them where they can study on this. Are they supposed to be doing this now?
Paper with you all day, starting next week, and it's gonna look like yeah, starting Tuesday.
All right, so I'll make sure I have all the right copies to give this stuff.
Had someone make you do that not share face, like squint your eyes like.
Actually, I feel a lot better. I feel
So what did I just ask you if you were gonna say carry
more.
next week?
I told you that.
That's it.
The negative.
Let me see it, I'm gonna go over.
It needs to be,
At the
because when
end
it's
of
not
every class,
positive and it's
I need you to
negative,
go.
he's not going to do
What do you
anything.
see right here?
When you tell him he can't do it, he says, why try? That's just how they are.
English, arts, career, geo, study skills, environmental, agriculture. Okay. So at the end of the class, I need you to bring this to your teacher. They're gonna fill out a row, and then you're gonna put it back in your folder and take it to the next class. What did I say?
Doing nothing. How'd you get him to get the record?
I want you to carry all of it at the end of the class, give it to the teacher. They're gonna fill it out.
I tell you the car.
That's it. That's what I said. I knew you were listening.
Did you caught that?
Yeah, I was listening.
Let me get you to sign this first before you go, because you're gonna
I
be
told you I'm
important
good.
to this plan.
Okay.
You see where it says student?
I need to call you.
I want you to print your name here. This is first.
Okay, I'm gonna go see who I need to
No, is this when you look for me?
see. Okay.
I don't know what
Do I need to make a copy?
I have a lot of them. And I can, y'all gonna read them over, you wanna wait till Tuesday?
No, I was just asking, is this the one copy for everybody? Do I need to make
What I
another
need to
copy?
do though is go through them, because there's several different ones that I'd like for them to look at.
Okay.
If you wanna make copies, I have to
This is the
go.
one that was on the table, so do I need to give this back to you?
Yes, just for now, let me see what
But what I was asking, could I make a copy of this one and hand the original back to you?
let me give you,
We got coffee machine.
Oh, straight down how that's located.
this is so good. It really is.
Thank you. Hungry.
I wish this was better.
Hey, you back?
I just wish I had everything in order. It's got out of order.
The signature page, I'm gonna get Mom, she's got a copy, I just want to.
And there is a,
I wish I had.
I guess I'll save it for the next meeting. This is it? Okay.
Here.
All of these?
Oh, here. It may not be all in a.
Okay. Or maybe we wait till the next meeting. Look, and I'll just do this one so I can look over this one.
Which one is that?
This one, this is about the Association of New England. That one. I'm just gonna make a
I have
copy.
a note about the
Okay.
iPad and the behavior plan, but since it hadn't changed yet, I'll
These
just leave it.
people have a hospital and youth care, and they have been doing this for 20 years in Maine. They are specialists. If I could move there, I would. It's cold.
Did y'all read this note part? I know we didn't read through the whole thing or not, but it talks about that iPad and your concerns. And until they take away the iPad or change it, I just have that those are some of your parent concerns that we had discussed about the iPad.
I don't really think you saw how I took it. And then you can get them to take it away in a certain way that you ask them.
But I think he wanted to maybe have it over the weekend, and he was trying
Oh,
something.
he lied.
Yeah.
He will definitely lie about it. He will lie to me about it. It's an obsession. It's an asphyxiation. And fixation, I mean. And when you asphyxiation, it's suffocating you. It does suffocate you. And it's so hard because, he will call me 150 times when I'm working to get on the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a fixation. And, you know, where they spin the top and they won't get out of it. When they're Asperger's, they forget about the autism. He still has autism. He can speak.
He's on the spectrum.
He is really on the spectrum. But Dr. Lavelle, you need to get that evaluation from him. Dr. Lavelle, he is way on this. He is definitely nonverbal cues, verbal cues. He's got all of that. This is Capital City area where you've given me the place to go. He's already in there.
I'll tell you what, when they do his reevaluation, his triennial, that's something that we usually request.
He is on the spectrum.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you. Here's your signature
He
page,
is
because you just
on
have
the
the
spectrum.
unsigned
And then
copies, but that's
It's nice
Nice
meeting you.
to
I'll
meet
see you on
you.
Wednesday. Thank you.
And when he does talk, he does this little Rain Man. You know how to do this? That little this right here, and he'll cough a lot. It's a ticking and a picking.
Yeah.
And he'll, you know, when he goes to talk, he does this. You know, like 234, you know, whatever. But I mean, you know, he does that.
Yeah.
That odd. He is.
I haven't seen.
But he is so smart, and I'm scared that
That's
he's
not
lost
distracting
every.
in the classroom. That's a good.
Huh?
That's not a factor that I thought was terribly distracting.
He's not.
Like,
It's
he's not.
It's
as
what.
bad as some other students.
No, he's not. He's not. But I didn't have a problem with that. The problem I had is the way he was being treated in the classroom. And believe me, I observed it.
Yeah.
I saw it firsthand. And I know what he would tell me when he came home hurt.
He said it. Say again.
When he would tell me about what happened and how hurt he was.
Oh.
And I mean, you're going to shut him down. You're not going to get anything out
I don't
of
think
it.
anyone wants to shut him down. We're just trying
Well,
to get
it's
him
because
to do
of
the
the
more
incident
socially
of what
appropriate.
happened when the vice principal was removed here, and they were friends with her.
Is that who was removed? See,
And it
I've
was
not
because-
had this school before,
Because
but I think everyone here is trying real hard.
they really are trying, but you still consider that a friend.
I think
But
think
you don't
maybe
understand
they
when
think they're trying hard, and then when they hear that you don't think they're trying hard, it's hard to take that sometimes.
well,
But you're entitled to your opinion. I know it.
You couldn't show me anything they've done.
I guess that's why.
Well, I am trying to see their side. I did. I came in here